All right, our draft coverage here, CBS Sports HQ, presented by Jeep, and we have our first upset of the night. That's right, Toronto with the 4th overall selection. Last time they picked for, they did pretty well. Chris Bosh. This time, they do not go with Jalen Suggs. That's right, they go with Scottie Barnes, Florida State, and second straight year, the 6th man on the Florida State team, who was a freshman, goes number 4 overall, Patrick Williams, last year to the Bulls. So Toronto, who missed the playoffs for the first time since 2012-2013 and played their home games last year in Tampa, take a Florida kid, stay with that Florida flavor, Scottie Barnes. Welcome to Canada. All right, I'm Eric Casilius, our coach Avery Johnson, Matt Norlander. Matt, I'm actually going to start with you here from a news perspective. Like, how surprised are you that Scottie Barnes goes here? I mean, I thought we were looking at Jalen Suggs at 4. This seems to be an upset, no?
So I'm not stunned, and I was actually just texting with a team drafting in the top 10 here. Not surprised at all. What I've been told is that Suggs did not, and I was told this in the past 48 hours, Suggs did not blow away Toronto whatsoever when he went on his visit, worked out, had his interviews there, and so there was this creeping suspicion. If you really followed the patterns here, it was Cade for sure, Jalen Green at number 2, and then Evan Mobley at number 3. And there was not a lot of push about Suggs going to 4, even though plenty of people consider Suggs to be a top 4 prospect.
Very quickly, does this say more about Barnes being so good or more about Suggs falling?
I think it says more about Suggs falling here, although to me, this is a wonderful draft pick for Toronto because I think Scottie Barnes is the top 3 prospect in the draft, right behind Suggs and right behind Cade Cunningham. So we've got some very intriguing drama here, and I'll be interested to see what Orlando does here because I don't think Orlando fully anticipated that Suggs would be waiting. I think if you're the Magic, you have to take Suggs in that spot.
We'll get to that pick number 5, but first number 4, Scottie Barnes going to Toronto. What's the fit here?
Well, I think it's a really good fit, and maybe this will signify that Kyle Lowry is going to re-sign with Toronto because when you look at the fit, I agree with my buddy Matt. Maybe Suggs didn't blow him away, but he still was a guy that if Lowry was 100% sure that he was leaving, Suggs still would have been a really good fit for this team. But you got to also look at Scottie Barnes. Let's give his coach Leonard Hamilton his flowers today. This guy develops first-round picks. Over the last 5 to 7 years, you always want to talk about Kentucky and North Carolina and Duke. Leonard Hamilton develops pros. Scottie Barnes is on a long list of players. He's long, he's athletic, he's got to improve as a free throw shooter, but his toughness, and again, we're saying this word a lot tonight, versatility, is very, very valuable in today's game.
Yeah, don't worry about the fact that he didn't start and came off the bench because Devin Booker never started a single game in college at Kentucky. He'd been pretty good. You know, it's about what you do when you get to the association. And even though he came off the bench, you could see it. He was a productive player. You go 10, you also drop 4 dimes, and when you shoot it, it goes in over 50% from the floor. There you go. That's your list. And oh, by the way, the other guy, Jalen Suggs, is still out there and may get picked right behind Scottie Barnes. All right, Travis Branham, 24/7 Sports, comes aboard. I mean, I was expecting this to be a different name, but now they go Florida State. Toronto takes Scottie Barnes. When you heard this, you thought what?
I was in the same boat as you. I was just as surprised. Jalen Suggs, especially when you consider that Kyle Lowry might not be in Toronto next year, made nothing but sense. That they would get that next point guard to take over that next tenure in Toronto. But taking Scottie Barnes, I absolutely love him as a prospect. He brings tremendous amount of defensive versatility. He can absolutely defend 1 through 5. And what I love most about him is the energy and motor he brings on the floor. He's one of the best competitors that I've evaluated in the past 7 or 8 years at the grassroots level. And he's a guy that his teammates all just gravitate towards him. He just has this energy and attractiveness about him that just brings the best out of the people around him. And there's some people are a bit concerned and kind of compare him to a guy like Ben Simmons because he doesn't shoot and he's kind of a playmaking 4. But to me, it is the most overused comparison, I think, in today's day. But I think he compares better to a guy like Draymond Green who can step out onto the perimeter and really facilitate an offense with his IQ and his passing ability. By doing so, that stretches that big man out at least 15 feet and really gives a lot of space in the paint and gives your shooter great.
There you go. Well done, Travis. Certainly appreciate that. So the theme here is sort of, yeah, sure, it's an upset pick, but I'm okay with it because he's really good too. Will the grade reflect that? Here's Akeem Dermish.
Scottie Barnes, the hard worker. This is a kid that wants to work, that watches tape, that wants to be in the gym, putting up shots. A guy that's got great body language. A guy that's not going to worry about taking shots late in games. As we welcome back in Gary Parrish. Gary, this is a surprise. Scottie Barnes, I know you guys talked a lot about him on the Ion College Basketball podcast, perhaps as high as 3. He goes 4th to the Raptors.
I'll give the grade an A- for 2 reasons. Can't go A+ because it's not what I would have done. I would have taken Jalen Suggs here. But A- because I do like Scottie Barnes and I do trust the Toronto front office. They usually get these things right. I imagine we'll look up in a few years and this will look smart. We talked about it. The swing skill here is the 3-point shot. He only shot 27.5% from 3 at Florida State. That's obviously not good enough for the way the game is played at the NBA level these days. But he does everything else. He plays multiple positions. He can initiate offense. He can pass out of pick and rolls. He can find open shooters. He's all about winning. Great teammate. I talked to Stan Jones, Leonard Hamilton's longtime assistant, about Scottie Barnes earlier this month. He said, sure, the shot is a concern, but don't doubt this young man. He'll be in the gym working to get it right. Eventually he will. Toronto has got a really interesting and special prospect here. It's not who I would have taken, but I understand why they did it.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.